Who ESG actually serves. Populations explained clearly. Now that you understand what ESG is, let's talk about who it actually serves. This is where strategy becomes important, because ESG is not for everyone in need. It is specifically for people who meet the federal definition of homelessness. And that definition matters more than most people realize, because if someone does not meet that definition, they are not eligible under ESG, no matter how much need exists. So let's break this down clearly. ESG primarily serves four groups. First, people living on the street. These are individuals who are unsheltered. They may be in cars, tents, abandoned buildings, or places not meant for human habitation. This is often the most visible population and, in many areas, one of the highest priorities for outreach and shelter access. Second, people already in emergency shelters. These are individuals in short-term temporary placements. They are not permanently housed, and the goal is to move them quickly towards stability. Third, people fleeing domestic violence. This includes individuals and families who do not have a safe housing alternative. In these situations, safety becomes the priority, and ESG can support immediate shelter and services. Fourth, people at imminent risk of homelessness. But this is where it becomes very specific. This is not just someone who might struggle with rent. This is someone who meets strict federal criteria, meaning they are likely to lose housing within a very short time frame and lack the resources to remain housed. So as you can see, ESG is not broad. It is targeted, it is defined, and it is structured. Now here's where people make a mistake. They assume they can choose a population, like veterans, and build around that. But ESG doesn't work like that. You don't start with preference, you start with data. Your population must match your local need, your continuum of care priorities, and your region's actual homeless data. Because every COC tracks what populations are most prevalent in their area, and funding, referrals, and placements follow that data. So if your area does not have a strong presence of a specific group, you can spend a lot of time trying to serve a population that isn't active in your system, and that slows everything down. Not because the work isn't valuable, but because it's not aligned with how the system operates. The smarter approach is this. Understand your local homeless population first. Look at your COC data. Identify who is actually being served and who is most in need. Then align your services to what actually exists. Because ESG is not built on assumptions. It is built on data, eligibility, and coordinated access. And when you align with that, everything moves more efficiently. Because ESG funding follows need, not preference.